The story of a poor woman and divine justice. In the midst of a heavy downpour, a cruel husband threw his disabled wife and their newborn twin daughters out of the house. She cried and begged for mercy, but that heartless man felt no pity. Yet, see how Allah delivered justice. It was midday. Fatima was feeding the buffaloes. The sun blazed mercilessly, and beads of sweat trickled down her forehead to her neck. She was pregnant at that time, and doing such hard work was nothing less than a trial for her. When she finished the outdoor chores and entered the courtyard, a harsh voice came from inside. "You wretched woman! What are you doing now? Go cook the food. The men will be home soon." Fatima lowered her head, said nothing, and quietly moved toward the kitchen. She gathered some firewood near the stove. Her palms were full of blisters, but she still managed to light the fire. The flames burned hot, sweat dripped down her tired face. With trembling hands, Fatima prepared the meal. She baked bread, cooked the curry, and silently placed the food before her husband and mother-in-law. Both started eating without saying a word. Fatima turned and walked slowly back to her room. As soon as the door closed, her restraint broke. Tears streamed down her face, each drop bearing witness to her sorrow. 3 years had passed since her marriage. For the first time, she was about to become a mother. The midwife had told her she was expecting twins, though no one yet knew if they would be boys or girls. But her husband and mother-in-law had already made it clear, "We want sons. If you give birth to daughters, you'll have no place in this house." Fatima stayed silent. Fear clouded her eyes, and an unspoken heaviness filled her heart. Days passed, and the time of childbirth arrived. The village midwife was called. After a while, she came out smiling, announcing, "Congratulations! You've been blessed with 2 daughters." A brief moment of joy flickered across Fatima's face, but it vanished as quickly as it came. Her husband Majid's face turned dark with anger. "You're cursed! You brought no dowry, and now you've burdened me with 2 daughters!" he shouted. His mother joined in the taunts. Then they both walked out, leaving Fatima weeping beside her newborns. She gazed at her little girls and thought, "Is this my life now? Humiliation, cruelty, and loneliness?" Days passed. Fatima began to feel dizzy and weak. One day, as she went to the kitchen for water, her foot slipped. A loud cry echoed through the house. She had fallen hard. Majid and his mother came running. He lifted her up and took her to the nearby hospital. The doctor examined her and said, "Her leg bone is fractured. It will take time and money to heal." On the way home, Fatima sat in a wheelchair, exhausted, tearful, and silent. Her mother-in-law's insults didn't stop, and Majid's temper remained the same. Back at home, Majid's anger exploded. "You're cursed! Another expense for me. I can't take care of a crippled wife, and you've given me daughters, too." With that, he stormed out, slamming the door behind him. His mother sneered, "This house won't stay hers for long," and went to her room. Fatima broke down completely. She wept uncontrollably, her heart shattered into pieces. She quietly went to her room, picked up her tiny daughters, pressed them to her chest, and whispered through sobs, "I will always take care of you. No one will separate us." She sat in her wheelchair, crying through the night. The next morning, dark clouds covered the village. Strong winds and heavy rain lashed outside, and a storm raged within Fatima's life, too. Suddenly, the door burst open. Majid walked in, his face red with fury. "Get out of my house! I've decided I'm marrying someone else. Her family says I must throw you out first." Fatima froze. "What are you saying, Majid? These are your daughters, too. Where will I go?" But neither Majid nor his mother felt any mercy. "Yes, my son," the mother said coldly. "Throw this cursed woman out. Your new wife will give you sons." Majid didn't waste a moment. He dragged the wheelchair and pushed Fatima out into the storm. Thunder roared, rain poured, and Fatima's cries echoed with it. "For God's sake, Majid! Open the door! Where will I go? She screamed. But the door slammed shut behind her. Rain mixed with her tears as she wheeled herself down the muddy road. Lightning flashed in the sky while she prayed, "You are my only support, O Allah. Only you." Her mind drifted to memories of her past, the days when her world was full of laughter and love. Flashback: before the storm. Fatima once lived happily with her father in a small house. Her mother had died in her childhood, but her father never let her feel that absence. She was gentle, kind, and beautiful. Her simple face radiated warmth. Next door lived her uncle's son, Aslam. His parents had passed away and he worked in the city but often visited the village. Over time, Fatima and Aslam fell deeply in love, a pure, innocent, selfless love. They met secretly in the fields, talked under the trees, and exchanged heartfelt letters. But destiny had other plans. One day, Fatima's father fell gravely ill. The local healer examined him and warned Fatima softly, "Your father's health will not last long. Take care of him." Fatima remembered her promise to Aslam. "This week, you'll talk to father about our marriage." But for the past week, Aslam's phone had been switched off. No letters, no message. Every passing day added to her restlessness. Then one evening, her father called her. His face was weak, but his eyes shone with love. "Daughter, I want to see you married before I die. I don't know how long I'll live." Fatima's lips trembled. Her heart screamed, but her tongue stayed silent. She could only whisper, "As you wish, father." That night, tears soaked her pillow as one question echoed in her mind. Where did Aslam go? A few days later, a matchmaker visited and told her father about a good proposal from another village. Majid, an only son living with his widowed mother. Without thinking much, her father agreed. "I just want my daughter to be safe before I leave this world." Fatima couldn't protest. Her heart was broken, but she obeyed. The marriage was simple. Before her rukhsati, farewell, her father passed away, her protector, her world, gone forever. When she arrived at Majid's house, her new life was cold and cruel. Majid was harsh, his mother venomous, and happiness seemed forbidden there. Years later came the storm, and the day when Majid threw her out with her baby daughters. Allah's justice. Rain kept pouring. Fatima kept moving, her wheelchair creaking through the muddy path. She decided to return to her father's old house. "Maybe I can raise my daughters there with dignity," she whispered. Hours later, drenched and exhausted, she finally reached the familiar lane. Her old house stood silent, a rusty lock hanging on the door. She stared at it, trembling. It felt as though her father's voice still called from within. "Come inside, my daughter Fatima." Just then, a woman passing by stopped. "Fatima, is that you?" she gasped. Tears flowed down Fatima's cheeks. "Please, sister," she cried weakly, "open this door." "I want to go inside." The woman rushed forward, unlocked the gate, and together they entered. The same courtyard, once filled with laughter, now echoed only silence. The woman asked, "Fatima, what happened? Where's your husband? Why are you in a wheelchair?" Fatima broke down and told her everything, between sobs and gasps. "He threw me out because I gave birth to daughters and became disabled. He wouldn't spend a single rupee on my treatment." The woman placed her hand on Fatima's head and said gently, "Don't worry. You're not alone anymore. This is your home now. I'll take care of you and your daughters." Fatima whispered, trembling, "Thank you, Allah, for sending someone to feed my children today." Then she closed her eyes, exhausted, but at peace. The tables turn. Back at Majid's house, life had changed. He had married another woman, young, arrogant, and ruthless. Within days, she turned against his mother, shouting, "I'm not your servant, old woman. Do your own work." Majid, who once disrespected Fatima, now saw his new wife insult his own mother daily. Soon, his mother fell ill and died, crying in regret, "O Allah, you gave me a kind daughter-in-law like Fatima, and I cursed her myself. Now I'm paying for it." Meanwhile, Fatima started rebuilding her life in her father's home. She repaired an old sewing machine and began stitching clothes for the village women. Every stitch carried her pain, yet also her strength. A year passed. Fatima was no longer the same. She was stronger, braver, and her face glowed with the dignity of motherhood, the return of Aslam. One afternoon, a soft knock came at the door. Fatima opened it and froze. It was Aslam, the same face, now older, filled with remorse. "Aslam," she whispered in disbelief. He stood silently, unable to speak. His eyes searched hers, eyes once filled with laughter, now shadowed by grief. "Why have you come here?" she said quietly. "Go away. I live with my daughters now. There's no place for you in my life." Aslam's voice trembled. "Fatima, please don't say that." "I still love you," she cried. "Love? You betrayed me. You married someone else." Aslam shook his head, tears welling up. "No, Fatima. What you were told was a lie. I had a terrible accident. I was unconscious for weeks. My phone was with a woman from my office. She loved me, and out of jealousy, told you I'd married her." Fatima's breath caught. "What?" he continued. "They told me your father had died, and you'd been married off elsewhere. Since then, I've come back to this village again and again, hoping to find you. And today, you're finally here." Fatima broke down, sobbing. "A single lie destroyed our whole lives." Aslam knelt beside her.
"You're not alone anymore. Come with me to the city. I'll treat your leg and raise your daughters as my own." Fatima hesitated. "How can I? People will talk." He looked into her eyes. "Let them. I'll marry you. You are my honor now, and I am your shelter." Tears of relief rolled down Fatima's cheeks. They married simply, no ceremony, no noise, just two truthful hearts uniting after years of separation. Aslam took Fatima and her daughters to the city. He had a big house and a successful business. He got her treated, and within months, she was able to walk again. He loved her and her daughters deeply, never letting them feel they weren't his own. At night, Fatima would fall in prostration, crying, "O Allah, you did not let my patience go to waste. You sent me your mercy in the form of Aslam." Her life had changed, peace, love, and respect filled her home again. Majid's end. Back in the village, Majid's new wife turned out to be a fraud. She stole his money, sold the house, and vanished. His mother was dead. He was left alone, penniless, sick, and begging on the streets. The same man who once threw his wife out in the rain. That's what happens to those who bring pain to others instead of being their support. The final encounter. Years passed. One day, Fatima went to pick up her daughters from school. She parked her car by the roadside, holding her girls' hands, smiling. Then she noticed a beggar, frail, dirty, wearing torn clothes. Her heart softened. She dropped a few coins into his bowl. The beggar looked up, and time froze. It was Majid. His hands trembled as tears streamed down his face. Before him stood Fatima, once weak and broken, now healthy, radiant, and dignified, with the same daughters he had disowned. Fatima smiled gently, lowered her gaze, and walked away, holding her children's hands. Majid sat motionless, eyes burning with regret. His lips whispered only one word, over and over, if only I had stood by her, if only I hadn't been cruel. All he had left was loneliness and repentance, while Fatima's share was honor, peace, and Allah's reward. If you liked this story, remember, patience always bears sweet fruit. Leaf in wind. Hi everyone, hand waving. Welcome to Simple English Talking Channel, the best place to learn and speak English in an easy and fun way. Here, we share short and simple English conversations, daily use sentences, and real-life examples to help you speak confidently. Speech balloon. If you want to improve your English step by step, then this channel is just for you. Glowing star right finger subscribe now and start your English learning journey today. Let's learn together, simple, smart, and confidently. Smile.